Male cop drags 30-year-old woman out of car by her hair in front of her house. What if this happened to you? Picture this. A male cop drags a 30-year-old woman out of her car by her hair, right in front of her home. What if, one day, the unimaginable unfolded right outside your front door? Imagine being stopped in the place you feel safest, your own driveway, only to be humiliated in a way you never thought possible. How would you respond if someone sworn to protect you became the source of your worst nightmare? This is the shocking story of Amanda Carter, a 30-year-old white woman whose calm, ordinary day took a horrific turn. Amanda was forcibly dragged out of her car by her hair, in plain view of her neighbors, right in front of her house. What happens next will leave you stunned. It was a peaceful afternoon in a quiet suburban neighborhood. Amanda had just returned from grocery shopping and was pulling into her driveway. Suddenly, flashing lights appeared behind her, and a commanding voice boomed from a loudspeaker. "Step out of the vehicle." Confused, Amanda stayed in her car. She hadn't done anything wrong. What could they possibly want with her? As she rolled down her window to ask the officer what was happening, the interaction took a dramatic and unexpected turn. Officer Desmond Blake, a black cop with a reputation for being overly aggressive, barked, "Get out of the car now." His loud, intimidating voice echoed across the neighborhood, drawing the attention of Amanda's neighbors. Despite Amanda's attempts to ask for an explanation, Desmond grew visibly more agitated. Before Amanda could fully process the situation, Desmond yanked open her car door and grabbed her by the hair, dragging her out. Amanda screamed, begging him to stop, but he continued to pull her across her driveway, her spilled groceries scattered everywhere. How would you feel if this happened to you or someone you love? By now, neighbors had started to gather, some recording the disturbing scene on their phones. "What are you doing?" "She hasn't done anything wrong," one shouted. Amanda's elderly mother ran out of the house, tears streaming down her face. "This is my daughter. What is she being arrested for?" she cried. But Desmond ignored her, cuffing Amanda roughly as she pleaded for an explanation. Was this justice, or a blatant abuse of power? Desmond later claimed Amanda's car matched the description of a vehicle involved in a hit-and-run earlier that day. But instead of verifying facts or allowing Amanda to explain, he jumped to conclusions, letting his emotions and bias take over. Should officers act without clear evidence? What safeguards should be in place to prevent incidents like this? Moments later, Amanda's husband arrived. A lawyer by profession, he immediately confronted Desmond. Seeing his wife handcuffed and distraught, he demanded answers. "Officer, this is my wife. What are you charging her with?" Desmond muttered something about the car being linked to a crime, but Amanda's husband wasn't buying it. Calm yet firm, he pulled out his phone and showed the officer security footage from their home cameras, proving Amanda's car hadn't left the driveway all day. What would you do if you had proof like this? Realizing his mistake, Desmond's demeanor shifted. But instead of apologizing, he doubled down. "We're just doing our job," he said defensively, as if that excused his actions. Amanda's husband stood his ground. "This is over. You'll be hearing from us." What do you think should happen to Officer Blake for his actions? Footage of the incident quickly went viral, sparking outrage across the country. Public opinion was divided. Some condemned Desmond's actions as unacceptable, while others tried to justify them, citing the pressures of law enforcement. But the facts were clear. Amanda was innocent, and Desmond's actions were inexcusable. The police department launched an internal investigation, placing Desmond on administrative leave. Amanda and her husband filed a formal complaint, demanding accountability. "No one should ever have to go through what I went through," Amanda said tearfully at a press conference. Do you think public pressure helps in cases like these? Would Amanda have received justice without it? Weeks later, the investigation concluded, and Desmond was fired for misconduct. The police chief issued a public apology to Amanda and her family, acknowledging the damage done to the community's trust. "We are committed to ensuring this never happens again," he said. But is an apology enough? What else should be done to prevent such incidents? Amanda's husband also filed a civil lawsuit against the department, seeking damages for the emotional trauma his wife endured. The case drew widespread attention, fueling calls for reforms in police training to address bias and excessive force. Are lawsuits the only way to create change? What do you think should be done? Desmond, meanwhile, struggled to find another job. In a rare interview, he admitted, "I let my emotions get the better of me. I thought I was doing my job, but I was wrong." Should forgiveness come easily in cases like these? Or should actions speak louder than words? Amanda has since become an advocate for police accountability. "This isn't about one bad officer," she said during a rally. "It's about fixing a broken system." Her courage inspired others to share their stories, sparking a broader movement for justice. What do you think Amanda's story teaches us about standing up for what's right? In the end, Amanda's ordeal highlighted the critical need for accountability and systemic reform. But the question remains, how many more innocent people must suffer before meaningful change happens? Now ask yourself, if you were in Amanda's shoes, how would you have reacted? If you were Officer Desmond, how would you make amends? What would you do? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. If you've made it this far, leave a comment with your country and a 100 points emoji to let us know you're the kind of person who finishes what they start.